Hello,
Good
hello,
morning.
hello. Good morning.
Welcome to Cooler Talk with Rhonda and Cynthia. Today, our topic is what inspires and excites you.
That's right. Great topic. You came up with this one last week, I know. Because after last week's conversation, which I thought was just wonderful, I was dry. I was tapped out, didn't have any ideas. So it was like one of the first things you came up with.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad we both agreed on that.
Yeah.
Excellent. What inspires and excites you? Well, I know a lot of people are inspired and excited by financial freedom,
Yes.
and that's what being an entrepreneur and business for yourself can bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and time freedom, more time to do things with the people that you want to do
Yep.
them with, and to go the places that you
You
want
want
to
to go.
go without having to worry about your budget.
Okay, so I'm going to cut right in because you talked about like the two hottest topics that like occupy most everyone's minds.
Yeah.
And, the question is, well, I mean, if I have a great job and it pays really well, then I don't have time to enjoy
Right.
with my friends and family. Or,
Mhm.
if I don't have a job, I have loads of time, but I don't have the money to enjoy my friends and family. And so, I think the question has sort of like an added layer, and that is, can you tie what excites and inspires you into your business, into your work? Can you tie it into that sort of, can you tie it into that, let's say, facet of your life so that you're not really working when you're working because you're actually working on things that inspire and excite you?
Without a doubt.
That's a
Without
million
a
dollar
doubt.
question.
Uh, it is the $1 million question. Um, and yes, what figure out first off what it is. What do you like? What are you attracted to? For example,
Right.
helping people.
Hmm.
Uh, what areas do you like to help people? And in my case, I try to focus on helping people to look at things in a more positive light,
Hmm.
and to focus on what good they can do in the world, and instead of fighting against it.
Right.
Where we can contribute, where we can help, who can we help, how can
Hmm.
we
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that might be a really good sort of catch-all phrase. How can I help? Because I think at the
help?
core, that's what we all want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, I love writing and the process of writing excites me, but it can be a solitary exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy when I have the opportunity to help somebody, up their game. When they come to me and they say, "Hey, Cynthia, I'm trying to write this letter or I'm trying to write this email and I'm just stuck. Like, I think it's boring. I need your help." Where I can just turn around and be like, "Oh, yeah, this is," and and bibbity bobbity boo, I've helped somebody, and it's easy for me, but maybe it's not obvious to somebody else. So
But
yeah.
little things like that help reduce people's stress,
Yes. Yes.
and it really does. And
And it's little for me, but for, that person, it's not little. And,
exactly,
if I need a light bulb screwed in, like, I need help. I'm not
yes,
very, like, technically inclined.
exactly. Oh yeah.
So, more things you're excited about, Rhonda, or things that inspire you.
Well, things that inspire me, Mother Nature. I love
Mhm.
being out in Mother Nature. Even if I'm just sitting around, if I'm around the trees and the birds who've been very loud lately, and I love listening to it.
Mhm.
I have a couple around here that are extra loud. I
Mhm.
think I don't know, they might be robins, but I'm not sure. Um, and I've been seeing a lot of robins lately. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and Mother Nature inspires me. Uh, Good friendship inspires me. People who enjoy a healthy exchange and can agree to disagree without being disagreeable.
Yes.
And sometimes when we don't see eye to eye with folks, if sometimes the only common ground is that we disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So why fight over it? I'm
Yes.
not going to change my mind. You're not going to change mine. And no matter what we say or do, doesn't seem to be getting us anywhere.
Right.
So let's do something else. Talk about
Mm-hmm.
something else.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Focus on where our common ground is.
Right. What brought you together? And
Right.
that's sort of like I wanted to ask you when you mentioned Mother Nature earlier, whether you sometimes take your work outside with you. Do you ever take your
Oh,
laptop outside or
I will when it warms up. I'll be on the deck doing everything out there.
I
You
vaguely
can you better believe it. I can't wait.
yeah, I vaguely remember you did some work on the deck last year too for a
Yeah,
while.
I'll get
Yeah.
out there as much as I can
Yeah.
when it's warm for sure.
Mhm.
When in my horseback riding days, my favorite thing to do was ride in the woods. We had a
Mm.
lot of paths and things back in those days, and the area is built up now. But in those days, I would love to ride out in the woods with just me and my horse, hearing his footsteps, and just listening to the rustle of the trees, the chirping of the birds, and the scurrying of little animals like
Yeah.
chipmunks and groundhogs and other
Yeah.
little critters I would see along the way.
Yep. Yep. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you're talking about this because I people sometimes ask me or they'll say even like, Cynthia, you're like so relaxed. Like I've been working on this project. Everybody around me is like whirlwinding in a tizzy. And I'm just kind of like, hey, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'll do my thing and I'll sort of knuckle down, but I'm just not getting, stressed or flung about. And people have asked me like, how is it that you can be so calm when this storm is raging? And I've been telling them that I meditate regularly. And then
Mhm.
they kind of look at me like, oh, I don't think I can do that. But what you just talked about, what you described is meditation. Like
Yes, it is.
you don't have to like, I mean, I meditate on this couch right behind me.
Mhm.
You don't have to, but you don't have to go to the top of a mountain and you don't have to go to a beach and just sit there. You can sit on a horse or even just take a walk around the block. You can
Or
run
have
on your
one of your,
treadmill.
yeah, and if you have pets, like this morning, my two kitties were extra cuddly.
Uh-huh.
So that's when I realized one of them needed her nails trimmed because it was going right into my skin. But anyway, she's a little love muffin, and the
Yeah.
sound of those contented purr sounds is very very calming.
Yeah. And it doesn't even require a lot of time. It can be as little as 3 minutes. I'm a bit of a, meditation snob. So sometimes I try to go for 45 minutes, but that's just because I love it. And it actually does excite me
Mhm.
as inactive as the activity is. So that is something I do. It does excite me. I do get a lot of inspiration from it. Thoughts appear to me that I think, this is how I can solve this problem. Or maybe I could, I don't know, bake a pie or something. And I'll
Yeah.
have these like inspiring thoughts. And I have made it a practice to incorporate time for that creative openness or creative
Mhm.
space in my calendar. So I guess, meditation is something that excites and inspires me. And I was so glad that you talked about, being out in Mother Nature and describing your time with your horse.
Well, let me thank you. Well, let me tell you, I'm in my basement office, and the sun is just bursting outside today,
Oh
and I
no.
can't wait to get up there. And I might sit on the deck's not ready yet, but I'm ready to sit on my front patio porch
Uh-huh.
and just take it in
Yeah.
before I go to the car dealer and get my oil change and a couple new tires.
Right. Right. Yeah, we've got to change to summer tires right now.
Uh,
Okay, so getting outside, and then you talked about people and friendship,
yeah,
and even people that you know, agree to disagree without being disagreeable with. And trust me, I've been making friends with all sorts of people just like that.
I know you have now that you're back in the workplace,
Yes, they are
so to speak.
inspiring me to just, you know, celebrate their differences and our differences.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're all unique. We all need to be heard. We all have a voice,
Mhm.
um, and it's different for some of us. Others, it's not unusual. I do
Yeah,
know one thing that in the world I've learned is I don't have an original thought in my head.
yeah, yeah. We
Uh,
don't. We
mm-mm.
don't. But yeah, and so we don't even need to be territorial about it or feel threatened if, you know, somebody is challenging like our viewpoint, which, you know, we're human, we do that.
Yeah,
We
we
feel
do.
scared, you know.
Yeah, we sure do. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Oh, let's see. What else? So you tell me what inspires and excites you?
What inspires and excites me? Potential. Like, and just in that moment that I said that I was thinking about the blank page.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what really inspires and excites me about it is that each blank page is like a fingerprint, or will has the potential to be like a fingerprint. In that, like, no two blank pages will be filled in the same way ever twice. Even with prints or whatever, there's always going to be like some imperfection that's going to make it different than the one right
Mm-hmm.
before. Um, and I think what also excites me, and I've learned actually where I'm working right now, they have this program that kind of does a sort of like Myers-Briggs assessment of like
Mm-hmm.
how you approach work. And I am what they call a pioneer. So
Ooh.
I like to sort of say like, I think the world is round, so I'm just going to sail off towards that sharp drop and see if, you know, it just keeps going, which if you think about it, like I totally do not have I have a sense of adventure and wonder about things like that. I'm okay. I'm very comfortable with the unknown. And yeah, I like to do those things. And I work with a lot of people who they want the guarantee of security. So I've started to learn that like actually this quality is very unique. I didn't know that like not everybody not everybody values doing something they've never done before, jumping out of a plane or, you know, sailing off of the horizon. So yeah.
That makes me think of my zip lining experience out in Arizona.
Hmm.
And I had a lot of trouble letting go. So this was a
Hmm.
good exercise for me. I Once you let go, you get to fly.
Right.
But, I had to go through this whole mental process. The lines are safe, nothing's going to happen, and it was a grueling experience just to let go. But I'm
Hmm.
glad I did once I finally did.
Hmm.
It was such freedom.
Back to that word, freedom.
I
Freedom.
know. I love that word.
Yeah.
Um, we have the freedom to think the way we choose. We have the
Hmm.
freedom to disagree.
Hmm.
And just because you think one way doesn't mean I have to, nor am I required to think the way that you do.
Right.
Let's respect that in each other.
Yes. Yes.
It's not a personal affront.
Mhm.
It's just how we view the world based on our experiences,
Yep.
and our observations, and how we internally process things.
Yep. And, I guess that would be another thing that excites me is the realization that this buffet has so many wonders, things that I could never imagine. I mean, yes, it has the things that I've had before and I really, really enjoy, but there's
Mhm.
so many things that this buffet has, that I've never tried before and that I might really, really, really enjoy. And continuing the buffet analogy, I
Mhm.
remember for the longest time, I would not eat sushi because I was like,
Mm.
raw fish, I don't know, whatever. Like now I have, smoked fish or some cured kind of fish, like all the time, at least once a week, and like sushi, when I finally did make that leap and taste it, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I've been missing out on this whole new range of flavors." And, from that point forward, it really kind of introduced me to a lot of wonderful foods, like even basic things like bagels and lox, and like I never would have eaten that before my sushi
Mhm.
experience. So, just trying something new, and that's always exciting for me too.
It's fun, especially with food, to try different tastes.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll think, "Oh, that just does not look or appeal good."
Mhm.
Try it. I try it,
Right.
and almost always
Right.
very pleasantly surprised. What a
Yes.
great combination.
Yes. Yes. It's true. It's true. And it's funny because like sometimes I remember as a kid, um, like well, my family was from not from the States, so there was a lot of dishes that I was introduced to that like most of
Mhm.
my friends didn't eat. And I remember I was introduced to curry chicken when I was a little bit older,
Mm.
like maybe 5 or 6, and I was kind of like, I'd heard my friends saying like, "I don't like curry, it smells," or whatever. And so, and I kind of approached it that way too. And my grandmother was like, "Just try it." And poor lady, she slaved in the kitchen all day. She was always cooking, right? She was like, "Just try it, and don't be silly." Curry chicken was like what I asked her to make for me like every day that she was staying with us after that day. It's like, "Can we have curry chicken again?" She's like, "You're gonna turn into a chicken if you keep eating curry chicken."
That's too cute.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. Oh gosh. Yeah,
Man.
so yeah, let's see what else.
I have one. This is a tough one. And can it be incorporated into your business? I don't know, but if it can be, then go for it. I would say falling in love, being in love. I I don't I mean, I still remember the excitement of, falling in love. Yes, I have to say I'm married to the man of my dreams. And, let's say that initial like excitement and fireworks passion has probably dimmed down a little over the years that we've been together, but there is still a very deep appreciation that is a very strong undercurrent in my everyday. It's one of the reasons why now I almost can't go to working in the office every day, just because I like being near him.
Isn't that wonderful?
So, yeah, and that's really important. And I think that's one of the things that motivates people to stick with their own business once they've started setting up their own business and working from home, where they realize, yeah, I want to be around my kids more. I want to be there when they come home from school. And, I want to be around them more. And I've been hearing that from more and more of my coworkers as well, who,
Mhm.
they say after these past 2 years, it's that love that's like, I'm
Mhm.
fine with working, but only if you don't make me go to the office every day.
Well,
You
sharing your lives together, creating those memories,
Mhm,
uh, over, the challenges,
mhm,
and the young people, the inspiration of them questioning things and the curiosity about things
mhm.
is very inspiring.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
so it might not fall into the falling in love category, but I do think that there has to be that you have to have that in your space, and in your life. Your heart has to sort of like have room to grow as well, when you're in a working situation. So I think that's something to be mindful of as you are, building your own business, even at home.
Mhm.
Is do I still have, let's say, not only the mental bandwidth to keep up and grow, but also the emotional bandwidth to
Mhm.
really feel my way through this business, and even making that gut check and saying, like, am I doing something that resonates with me, or am I just doing this because someone said that it was like the way to success? And sometimes
Mhm.
it's the gut check that, I mean, you might
I
be
think it
doing exactly what the other guy did, but you're not making the money. you know
right,
um, yeah,
right. It's that passion.
yeah, yeah,
That passion. I recently shift gears a little bit, and that passion's been reawakened,
yes,
which I'm happy to discuss. I'm not.
yes,
I'm just happy to talk about it and,
yeah,
think about it. So, in
yeah.
fact, yeah, I love being doing this monitor duty. I, I
Mhm.
I'm finding that I can do it an hour before we meet, so
Mhm.
it helps me get ready in so many different ways. But
Mhm.
to answer questions for folks and let them know there's something out there that can help them,
Yeah.
um, and that there are steps involved, and that everything else I'm involved in complements it,
Mhm.
or it complements that. So, and I'm not
Mhm.
limited to a specific product line or specific method,
Mhm.
but they do complement each other, and I love that. So,
And that it can be argued that that is also what excites you, is being
mm,
able to sort of like align your values with your appreciation for helping people, and finding the right match between people and their questions and answers, and really sort of putting those disparate parts together.
yes,
So
yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Do you
Yeah.
want to tell people what you're helping them with, or do you want it
Well,
to
no,
be
no,
mysterious?
not right now. Not right now. If they follow, whenever I'm what I did started doing this week is whenever I'm on monitor duty,
Uh-huh.
which is a live business center.
Mhm.
Whenever I'm on monitor duty on my Action Home Business Facebook page,
Mhm.
I let people know, hey, I'm live this morning. Come on over. So
Mhm.
uh, I, I'm experimenting with that right now and just letting, well, here's what I'm doing right now. And
Mhm.
what I like about it is it's not what everybody else is doing.
Mhm.
Um, I don't, yeah, that's what I like about it. It's not what everyone else is doing.
Yep.
Plus, there are perks involved with being a monitor as well. So
Uh-huh.
it helps in it it keeps me involved, and I feel like I'm doing a good service with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple. It's very simple, and being readily available for folks who have questions.
Mhm.
And it's comical because it's a very unique system. Nobody else does anything like this with this
Mhm.
live business center, and people can come on even though they can hear me, but I can't hear the people in that are on the in the center. So,
Okay.
but I can talk and they can see me. They're dealing with a real person,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll type in the chat box. If they have questions, they'll type that box in the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
I can let them know about special promotions or offers that are going on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, and I just hey, this is here, this is there, because it's such a vast uh, such a vast company, and there's so many things that are offered.
Uh-huh.
The training is very important, and they have an unlimited uh, venues for advertising, which
Uh-huh.
has really simplified things for me. So,
Yeah. Well, and you've
and
become quite the advertising expert.
um, it's just been crazy. So it's fun. It's a lot of
Mhm.
fun. I have at least 15 different venues I can choose from, and I'm having fun experimenting with them
Mhm. Mhm.
and creating unique. There's some unique approaches that you can connect with. Let's say if I'm promoting a particular product, I
Mhm.
can attach I showed it to you last week after we got offline. I can attach other things up there too,
Mhm.
which gives people more a choice and option, and added value. So there's a
Mhm.
lots and lots and lots of added value with
Mhm.
this company that I've attached myself to, and I can promote my other program that I dearly love as well
Yeah.
with Mika Wilson. So it's not limited to just the one product line. So
Right.
I love
Right.
it. And we have access to ClickBank and creating my own catalog. And they help shortcut some. Sometimes they do the homework for us in the most popular programs out there to let people know about them. So
Mhm.
go on, as you know, but I won't.
Well,
But it's a lot of fun.
I heard you reveal twice another thing that excites and inspires you that you didn't come up with earlier. You want me to reveal it
Yeah,
back to you?
go for it. Yes, please.
Experimenting.
Oh, yes.
You and
Um,
actually, in all of the months that I've known you, it's been more than a year now. That's been like your thing. You are like a queen experimenter, and
I
you
love
have
that.
incorporated that into your business.
Yes. And this makes it much easier to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I do
that's
love the experimenting.
mhm.
It's opening my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So you might have a bit of a pioneering spirit as well.
I must. I must.
Yeah.
I'm never happy with the status quo.
Yeah.
I accept the status quo, but I'm not always happy with it.
Right. Surely there must be more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been that could be a two-sided sword,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
depending on who I'm talking with
Yeah.
and who I'm around. Uh, but keeps life interesting, when you're in the fall, winter months of your life.
Mhm.
You have a couple choices. You can just sit back, sip on the coffee, and do nothing,
Mhm.
or find new ways to get inspired,
Mhm.
challenge your mind, and help people on top of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Makes it interesting. It's almost that time.
Oh my goodness, it is almost that time. So I think, let's say the moral of the story today is that you can tie what excites and inspires you into your business, and you can actually do it in creative ways. But I do think, and this will just be an added aspect, which is that you should probably just spend a little bit of time thinking about what excites and inspires you and ask yourself, is this something that I have made space for in my day? Whether you work for yourself or even whether you work for someone else.
And
So,
paying attention to how you feel
yeah,
when you're thinking about that
yeah,
is a huge voice.
yes,
A huge voice. And with that, I'm
truth.
sorry to say our time is over here at Cooler Talk with Rhonda and Cynthia. We appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah,
Go out there and be creative. Find what inspires and excites you and enjoy it.
find your freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take care.
guess that's
And we'll see you guys next week.
ciao for now.
Ciao for now.